City slept. Ethan Cole alone on 42nd floor. Desk showed 5 years relentless work. Ideas overlooked, name not top talent. Others rose because seen. Hid frustration. Phone buzzed. Unknown number. Answered. Ethan Cole speaking. Hail. Executive floor now. No explanation, just order. Straight and tie. Elevators. City lights blurred ascending. Executive floor heavier. Walked corridor, footsteps echoing carpet. Focus, no fear. Enter chairman's office. Hail, hard worker. 5 years, no scandals. Reward results. Sit. Ethan sat. Hail, marry my daughter. Power, protection, not love. Invisible men dangerous. Why me? First chosen, not overlooked. Met billionaire's eyes calm dangerous confidence. Test.
The elevator doors opened into a world that didn't feel real. Golden lights spilled across marble floors. The executive penthouse wasn't just an office, it was a kingdom. Glass walls revealed the city far below, alive and glittering, as if the world itself existed only to serve whoever stood here. The MC stepped out calmly, though his heartbeat had subtly changed. He had accepted the chairman's proposal, not because of greed, not because of fear, but because something inside him whispered that this path was inevitable. A silent assistant led him down a curved hallway. "She's waiting," the assistant said softly. The doors opened, and then he saw her. She stood near the panoramic window, arms crossed, posture flawless. She wasn't smiling. She wasn't curious. She wasn't impressed. She was judging. Her beauty wasn't soft, it was sharp. Long dark hair, cold, intelligent eyes, an expression that had never needed approval. This was not a woman who waited to be chosen. This was a woman who decided. The MC stopped a few steps inside. Neither spoke. Seconds stretched. So she finally said, her voice calm but edged with ice, "You're the man my father wants to hand me to. Not marry. Hand over." The MC didn't flinch. "I was invited," he replied evenly. "Not demanded." Her eyes narrowed slightly, just a fraction. She hadn't expected that. She walked closer, heels clicking like a countdown. "Do you know how many men would kill to stand where you are?" she asked. "I imagine," he said, "but I don't measure my worth by envy." Silence fell again, heavier this time. She circled him slowly, inspecting him like an asset, not a person. His suit was modest. His watch wasn't luxury. His presence didn't scream power. Yet, he didn't bow. "You don't look ambitious," she said. "And men without ambition bore me." The MC met her gaze directly. "Ambition doesn't need noise," he said quietly. "Only results." That was the moment. Her expression changed, not warmth, not attraction, but interest. Still, she wasn't done. She walked back to the window and spoke without turning. "This marriage isn't real," she said. "It's a contract. If you embarrass me, disobey me, or think you have authority over my life, I will destroy you." The city lights reflected in the glass, framing her like a queen carved from fire. The MC took a step forward. "Then we agree on one thing," he said. "This is not about love." She turned sharply. "And what is it about?" she asked. He answered without hesitation. "Power." For the first time, she smiled. Not kindly, dangerously.
The news didn't break quietly. It exploded. By morning, every major business outlet, entertainment channel, and financial blog carried the same headline. Different words, same shock. Billionaire heiress engaged to unknown employee. The MC stood in his small apartment, phone buzzing nonstop on the table. Messages stacked like falling dominoes. Former colleagues, old classmates, people who had ignored him for years. "Is this real? Are you really marrying her? How did you pull this off?" He didn't answer a single one. Across the city, in a glass-walled conference room 40 floors high, the woman now officially his fiancée watched the chaos unfold on a massive screen. She looked amused. "They're calling you a gold digger," she said casually. "Let them," the MC replied. Noise fades. She turned toward him slowly. "You understand what this means now, right?" she asked. "From today onward, you won't belong to yourself. Every word you say, every move you make, people will try to tear you apart." He met her gaze. "They already tried when I was nobody," he said. "Now at least they'll be honest about it." That earned him another look, that sharp, measuring stare. By noon, the chairman summoned them. The engagement announcement would be public. No hiding, no soft launch. A press conference, live. Backstage, cameras flashed through the curtains like lightning. The MC adjusted his cufflinks, calm on the surface, fully aware that one wrong expression could make him a joke. She stood beside him, flawless, unbothered. "Remember," she said quietly, "this is a performance." "No," he replied. "This is positioning." The curtains opened. A wall of reporters surged forward. Questions hit like bullets. "Who are you? Are you after her money? Did you seduce her? Is this a corporate arrangement?" The MC stepped forward before she could speak. "I earned my place," he said clearly, "and I don't need permission to stand here." The room fell silent. She glanced at him, just for a second. Then she took his arm. That single gesture sent the room into chaos. Photos exploded across social media within minutes. The narrative changed. He was no longer invisible. He was controversial, and controversy meant power. That night, as they stood alone on a balcony overlooking the city, she finally said it. "You survived the first wave." He looked out at the lights below. "Then send the next one," he replied. And somewhere deep in her chest, something shifted.
Fame doesn't arrive alone. It brings vultures. The MC realized it the moment he walked into the company lobby the next morning. Conversation stopped. Eyes followed him. Some held curiosity. Others carried envy. A few, pure hatred. Yesterday, he was invisible. Today, he was a target. Inside the executive elevator, his phone vibrated again. A message from an unknown number. "You don't belong where you stand. Walk away while you still can." He didn't reply. At the top floor, the female lead was already waiting. She stood near the window, arms crossed, gaze sharp. "They're moving faster than I expected," she said without turning. "So you noticed too?" the MC replied. She finally faced him. "Your past has been dug up. Your finances. Your relationships. Even people you've cut off years ago. Let them dig," he said calmly. "They'll only find how little I had." Her eyes narrowed. "That humility," she said, "is exactly why they're scared." The attack came at noon. A business expose dropped online. Anonymous sources claiming the MC was a corporate spy planted to steal company control through marriage. Stock prices trembled. Board members panicked. Emergency meeting. The conference room felt colder than usual. Senior executives whispered. A few avoided looking at him altogether. One man spoke first, a rival executive with a polished smile. "We need to consider optics," he said. "This engagement, it's destabilizing investor confidence." Translation, "You're a liability." The MC stood. "Funny," he said, voice steady. "How confidence only shakes when someone unexpected rises." Murmurs spread. Then the door opened. She walked in, his ex-elegant. Familiar. Weaponized nostalgia. "I can help," she said softly, eyes locking onto the MC. "I know him. His weaknesses. His limits." The room froze. The MC felt the past crawl back, but he didn't flinch. Instead, he smiled. "For someone who sold me for comfort," he said calmly, "you seem very interested in my future." Silence. The female lead stepped forward. "Meeting adjourned," she said coldly. "Anyone who doubts him doubts me." That was the moment the lines were drawn. Later that night, on the rooftop helipad, the female lead spoke quietly. "They won't stop now." The MC looked at the city. "Good," he said. "I'm done being defensive." For the first time, she smiled, not politely, dangerously. Enemies revealed themselves. War had begun.
The attack didn't come in silence. It came loud, public, and perfectly timed. That morning, the MC's face was everywhere. Screens, phones, social media feeds. CEO's future son-in-law linked to insider fraud. Is the billion-dollar heir a carefully planted scam? The articles weren't sloppy. They were surgical. Screenshots, old photos, half-truths twisted into poison. Inside the company cafe, conversations died when he entered. Someone laughed nervously. Another whispered his name like a rumor. This time, the MC felt it. Not fear. Disappointment. He had underestimated how far they'd go. At noon, the company hosted a live investor Q&A, broadcast globally. The rivals chose the stage. The female lead stood beside him backstage. Her jaw was tight. "They're going to try to destroy you publicly," she said. He adjusted his cufflinks. "Good," he replied. "I prefer daylight." On stage, Questions turned sharp quickly. A reporter leaned forward. Is it true your rise is tied to manipulation and marriage rather than merit? Before he could speak, she appeared. His ex invited. Planned. I can't stay silent anymore, she said into the mic, voice trembling perfectly. I loved him once, but I saw things no one else did. Gasps rippled through the audience. The MC looked at her. She wouldn't meet his eyes. Inside his chest, something finally died. But something else woke up. He stepped forward. No, he said calmly. You saw what you wanted to sell. The screen behind them lit up. Emails, contracts, transfer records. The MC had prepared. Months ago. Since you want truth, he continued, let's stop hiding it. The documents showed her payments. From his rival. From competitors. From the very board members now sweating in their seats. The room exploded. The ex's face drained of color. The rival executive stood up, shouting, but security was already moving. The MC didn't raise his voice. He didn't need to. This, he said quietly, was your last move. Silence followed. Deadly. Absolute. For the first time in his life, the MC felt it. Control.
The fallout from the investor event didn't settle. It exploded. By morning, news channels were calling it the largest internal exposure scandal in corporate history. Stocks trembled. Executives resigned overnight. Board members vanished from public view. But inside the glass tower, a far more dangerous storm was forming. The emergency board meeting was called at noon. Every seat filled. Every camera rolling. This time, the MC walked in knowing something critical had changed. They no longer questioned him. They feared him. Yet one threat remained. The chairman, her father. He sat at the head of the table, face unreadable. You embarrassed this company, he said coldly. You forced my hand. Silence followed. Everyone waited for the verdict. The MC stood. If exposing corruption embarrasses you, he replied evenly, then the rot runs deeper than I thought. Gasps echoed. That was when she stood up. The female lead. The future bride. The billionaire heiress. She walked to his side. Not behind him. Not ahead. Beside him. Enough, she said, her voice steady. I will not marry a coward's legacy. Her father's eyes widened. She turned to the board. This man protected the company when you sold it. He earned his place. And if you remove him, she paused. I walk. I take my shares. I take my name. The room froze. Billions hung in the air. The chairman's hand trembled slightly. For the first time, he realized the truth. This wasn't about marriage anymore. It was about power transfer. He leaned back. Slowly. The board recognizes him, he said, as acting executive partner. The decision was final. After the meeting, the MC stood alone on the balcony. The city stretched beneath him. She joined him. I didn't choose you because I love you, she said honestly. I chose you because you're the only man here who doesn't lie to himself. He met her gaze. That's more dangerous than love, he replied. She smiled faintly. Good. Below them, the city kept moving, unaware that its future had just shifted hands.
The company stabilized, but the world outside didn't. 3 nights after the board decision, the MC stood alone in his office. Lights off, city glowing beyond the glass. His phone vibrated once. Unknown number. You finally took what was mine. The message froze his breath, because the voice behind those words wasn't from the present. It was from the past he buried. He typed back slowly. Who is this? A second message came instantly. The man you ruined. The man you left behind. Memories hit him like glass. A startup. A partner. A betrayal that wasn't clean, only necessary. The MC closed his eyes. He's back, he whispered. The next morning, chaos erupted. A rival corporation announced a hostile acquisition attempt, backed by foreign capital, aggressive lawsuits, and leaked internal data. The CEO? A familiar name. His former best friend. The man he once trusted more than anyone. At the emergency strategy meeting, panic spread. They know our internal structure, someone said. They're attacking from inside and outside. The female lead watched the MC closely. You're not surprised, she said quietly. No, he replied. I've been waiting. That night, the MC returned to the place where it all started. An abandoned office floor. Dust-covered desks. Broken dreams. He stood in the dark, remembering the moment he walked away. I didn't destroy you, he said aloud. I survived you. A figure emerged from the shadows. Same face. Different soul. So did I, the man replied. And now I'm here to finish it. Silence stretched between them. Old loyalty, old wounds, no forgiveness. This isn't personal, the enemy said. It's business. The MC met his eyes. It was always personal. The war had begun.
The enemy didn't attack the company. He attacked the MC's reputation. It began at 9:03 a.m. Every major business network aired the same breaking news. Billion-dollar son-in-law accused of corporate fraud. Leaked documents surface. Screens across the office lit up. Employees froze. Phones rang nonstop. The MC stood still in the center of the chaos. Who leaked this? Someone shouted. The documents looked real. Too real. Old contracts. Half-signed emails. Numbers taken out of context, but dangerous enough to destroy trust. The female lead rushed into the boardroom. They're framing you, she said. But worse, the leak came from inside our legal server. Silence. Only one person had access. The MC's mentor. The man who trained him when he was nothing. When security brought the mentor in, his hands were shaking. I didn't mean to betray you, he said, voice cracking. They threatened my family. The room held its breath. The MC looked at him. Not angry, not shocked, just tired. I trusted you, the MC said quietly. That was my mistake, not yours. Outside, shareholders panicked. Stock dipped. Social media exploded. Hashtags trended worldwide. Hashtag fake billionaire, hashtag corporate fraud, hashtag ex-employee turned gold digger. That night, a public emergency press conference was announced. The enemy wanted blood. Cameras. Reporters. Judgment. Backstage, the female lead grabbed the MC's hand. If you walk out there, she said, they'll tear you apart. He met her eyes. No, he replied. They'll watch me take control. On stage, flashes blinded him. Questions came like bullets. Did you steal this company? Are you just a pawn married into power? Is your success a lie? The MC raised one finger. Silence fell. Then he spoke. Everything you saw was leaked for one reason, he said calmly. Because the truth is coming next. Behind him, the screen turned on. Live. Unedited. Proof. Emails. Bank trails. Foreign shell companies. All pointing to one man. The enemy. Gasps filled the room. The MC finished softly. You wanted a war in public. Now you'll lose in daylight. Somewhere in the shadows, the enemy smiled. Because this was only round one.
The press conference ended in victory. But wars are not won on stages. They are won or lost after the cameras turn off. At 6:12 a.m., the stock market opened. At 6:13 a.m., the attack began. The company's shares collapsed unnaturally fast, too fast for normal panic selling. Automated short attacks, fake insider rumors, foreign funds moving in perfect sync. The MC stared at the live chart. Red, red, red. They're not trying to bankrupt us, he said calmly. They're trying to isolate me. Then the phone rang. The female lead. Her voice was different. Controlled. Too controlled. They're investigating me, she said. Personal finances. Old investments. Even my mother's medical records. The MC's jaw tightened. They're using you, he replied, to reach me. Minutes later, government officials arrived. Not aggressive. Polite. Deadly. For the integrity of the investigation, one said, we recommend temporary distance between you and the company's controlling family. Temporary. The most dangerous word in power games. That night, the MC stood in the private apartment overlooking the city. The female lead packed silently. You don't have to leave, he said. She finally looked at him. If I stay, she whispered, they'll destroy you through me. He stepped forward. She stepped back. Not out of fear, out of love. Outside, paparazzi waited like wolves. Headlines were already written. Billionaire heir's wife under federal scrutiny. At the elevator doors, she stopped. Promise me something, she said. Anything. Don't save me, she said softly. When? The doors closed. The MC didn't move for a long time. Then he turned back to the city. And for the first time since his rise, his eyes went cold. Not angry, not emotional. Strategic. Somewhere else, the enemy watched the separation live. He raised his glass. Now, he smiled, you're finally alone. He was wrong. This was the moment the MC stopped defending and started hunting. The city woke up believing the MC was finished. The headlines said he was isolated. The analysts said his empire was bleeding. The enemies said he was desperate. Only one thing was true. He was finally free. At 4:30 a.m., before the markets opened, The MC stood alone in a private war room beneath the city. No windows, no phones, just screens, dozens of them, showing movements across global markets, shell companies, political donations, offshore accounts. This room didn't belong to the company. It belonged to him. Begin phase 1, he said quietly. Across 3 continents, dormant accounts activated simultaneously. The enemy's short positions, built carefully over months, began to rot from the inside. Fake liquidity vanished. Hidden leverage surfaced. Margin calls started firing like gunshots. At 9:02 a.m., the first enemy fund collapsed. By 9:07, another followed. The market didn't panic. It corrected. Newsrooms scrambled. Unexpected reversal shocks investors. Anonymous capital rescues collapsing sector. The MC washed without expression. This wasn't rescue. It was extraction. Meanwhile, the female lead sat alone in a quiet apartment arranged by investigators. No luxury, no comfort, just distance. She turned on the television and froze. The screen showed a familiar symbol, a holding company she'd seen only once, years ago, on a forgotten document. The MC's real name wasn't listed, but she knew. He planned this before he ever met me, she whispered. Back at headquarters, the enemy's confidence shattered. What do you mean we're exposed? The enemy snapped. His advisor was shaking. These positions, they were mirrored months ago. Someone has been waiting. The enemy checked his phone. No service. At the same time, regulators released a statement. Not about the MC. About him. Insider manipulation. Illegal short coordination. Foreign interference. The enemy laughed. Until handcuffs clicked shut. Across the city, the MC stood on the rooftop helipad. Wind tugged at his coat. He looked calm, but his eyes held something new. Closure. The female lead received one final message on her secure phone. Just 3 words. Come home. We won. The helicopter lifted into the sky. Below, the city looked smaller. So did the people who once tried to control him. He hadn't destroyed them publicly. He'd done something worse. He made them irrelevant.